welcome back. It's been a while, so this is a good opportunity to go over how I usually handle returning to a game where I honestly don't remember much of what's going on. I do know there is this push north here because it was very memorable, so I'm gonna pop out the UI elements and look at the front lines themselves. Who I am at war with, who I am not at war with. This is, I recall in this area that it's basically just a skirmish because of the mountains impeding movement. And this is just a cordon to keep the offensive going. And I remember now this major over here is a big threat because it might eventually attack us while we are at war. I don't think any troop movements have been done. No, there's definitely been troop movements that got done. Why is this tank not further ahead? Troops are on a trench. Might have just forgotten to move it up, honestly. The enemy is on fluid defense. Something to keep in mind for single player, there is a discrepancy between the player and the AI. I forgot to put my timer on, so I have no clue how long the video is running. Damn. There is a discrepancy between the player and the AI. The AI is able to use all of the postures with no regard for the ethics, which is something quite noticeable once you do go to war. For example, fluid defense, if I can find it in here, is, what is it? It's in mind, but the enemy regime is not necessarily mind if we take a look at it. It's fist. Right, it has fist as its highest metric. It's got 44 mind, and admittedly for this you would need 50. Says that you need a profile of at least mind 50 to have a chance to acquire it, which clearly this regime does not. So that's something to keep in mind. The AI can use all of the postures, but alas, as a player we can make up for this. We can build around our postures in regards to unit composition much better. I think I had the 1 MG in every town. This militia is depleted to non-existence at this point. Why is this damaged? Okay, it's the same zone, that's why it's damaged. This is why I always go with one tile for the hex selection. Now, I also do recall I received a comment, which I'm going to check real quick, which inquired about the speed at which I click through the events, I believe. 1 second only. Yeah, I see it now. Yes, I will try my best to go to the events slower, so you have a chance to read them. The pop-up screens, right? I never waste the political power on influencing the factions. I'm not sure if I've already commented on this. I've never had much success with it personally, although that might be due to playing on more violent worlds, right? So that's something to keep in mind. If you're playing on a more peaceful world, it is entirely possible to have more success with the diplomacy, because the AI will be more willing to engage in it in of itself. In the management tab, in the assets section, we are able to have a pretty nice overview of everything and take note of everything that's being upgraded without having to work around the map. And this is also very useful for when you return back to a game, because you can also see the production and consumption of both metal and IP, importantly, here. So we can just flip through the zones and we can see where there's a deficit and where there's a surplus. There's a lot of construction going on, so I'm not comfortable starting anything new, even though there's 900 in stockpile. I'm gonna let the turn roll over, and then I'm gonna see if this is still positive, right? I did already do these attacks. This infantry is low readiness, so I won't be moving it. Although this one is pretty okay. I'm gonna keep this one has pretty much the same readiness, but I'll keep it behind the river and I'll just move this one up. The tank can just stay there. And this Hex, I'm not sure if I trust that. The recon is pretty high and they have pretty low readiness according to intel. The morale isn't very good either, so they might just retreat if we fight them. And the entrenchment isn't high, the experience is low. I think I'll give it a shot with the tanks and GR. Okay. That went pretty well. The tanks didn't get much kills, but the GR infantry did a lot to the low readiness units. So it's a good thing we didn't just send the tanks in alone. They don't have anything that can attack, so I think I will move the tank up. Can I beat them back more? Yes. The GR stack was here. Its readiness is a bit depleted. There is no river crossing, so this should be fine. And this is really good because now if they want to get into the city, they will have to expend more movement points to get in. It will be slower for them to get into the city and they'll have less action points to work with, which is good. Units take a penalty to the movement cost required if the hex they want to pass through is adjacent to an enemy unit. So you will be much less mobile than just a neutral land if you're next to the enemy. I don't think there's anything left to do for now. I already sold metals and rare metals, so I'll just pass the turn. Let's see what happens. It is a bit of a fight with the camera if you want to look at a specific place non-stop. What I figured is it's best to just let the camera do its own thing during the turn passage. Because if you do fight with it, it will just get decalibrated to a degree, right? So you won't really be able to actually see the thing you care about because you fought with the camera and now it's basically having a bit of a headache trying to go back to where it was supposed to go. Let's see. A fuel deposit. A surveillance tower. Sub-vocalizer. Yeah, same thing. This piece of GR equipment increases loyalty in a zone. We have some more cards. I don't think the cards are that important to have a look at personally, because it's mostly duplicates of what we already have always. This one's important though. This one doubles the IP production of your public assets, which is like your factories, which already have pretty high IP production. It's not the private assets, right? My industrial points are still on the positive, so I think a double shifts card is in order. And where do I have the workers to actually start something? There is a surplus of workers here, which is really good. Let's see. Can't afford more industry. I can afford a high command, I think. Yes. The power plant should not be producing that much. That's wasteful. And we'll get the high command. It's very important to upgrade your high command whenever possible because it governs the political power you get, which becomes the bottleneck, essentially, always. And the university to keep pumping up the quality level. I'll also do a university here. The university does also give bonus research points. I'm not exactly sure of the math because I've never looked into it, I'll be honest. I don't know how consequential it is, but I imagine it is a good thing to have more bonus points for research than less. I would like a bureaucratic office here because I want to outpace the technology of the AI ASAP. If we're not already behind, that is. Another bureaucratic office here. And here I will get a... I'll still get a bureaucratic office, I think. Let's see what the enemy city looks like now. There is pretty low readiness, and the recon, it's more than half, I'd say. My rule of thumb, look, it says even there, right? It's a minimum recon for unit info 40, and then modified by the hex, and then minimum recon for full unit info, just around 400. So we're around the halfway mark for full proper recon at 274. So I'll trust it, I'd say. There are a lot of mobile forces we have here. It is a big river crossing. It's not a huge river crossing or anything, but it is a river nonetheless. So that is not great. If we were to try and cut through with everything we have, by throwing the militia? No. Sometimes it's best to just not add more units, because in the case of the militia, it straight up lowers the modified offensive power. Now, keep in mind that more troops does mean more targets for the enemy, which dilutes their attacks. So, for example, in the case of tanks, ideally you wouldn't have them get constantly hit, because that increases the chances of them actually receiving a lethal hit. Sometimes using cheap chaff might actually be worth it. The enemy anti-tank guns were pretty low readiness, and they only managed to get one kill. The enemy artillery did cause a substantial amount of damage. In comparison, it got 2 kills, and it also got a lot of hits off. This one, for example, got 5 hits, this one 5 hits, which tanked our readiness, I assume. Let's say it did deal readiness damage. Not that much, given we won, but still. And there aren't that many losses to speak of. The artillery unit here is unfortunate, because it is quite expensive. And the 2 light tanks are a shame, but otherwise it's 3 light tanks, but it's pretty okay for taking the city. It's just, it's best to just always move everything in, as you don't really want the enemy to take it back. This is their SHQ, so now their supply network is basically shot. There will be no supply going to these units the next turn at the very least, so it is basically a turkey shoot by now. Hold the line, hold the line. Okay. I'd like to cut this off actually and corner it, and I can plug the line here with some infantry. This is under what HQ? This is under this HQ, okay. I want the HQ to sit more in a central position. I'll reinforce the line with infantry here too, why not? The enemy ran away from this encirclement, I think. If it was an encirclement, yeah, they did. Which isn't great, but could be worse. And I don't have much to work with here besides the few troops. I'd like to take this mountain actually. Move down a bit. That makes a nice front. This is a savanna. Might be worth it to try to move the infantry up there and then just hold up with these guys here. The recon isn't great. I'm not sure I trust this. But that is the unit that was encircled, I think, maybe? I don't think they could have moved that far away. So if I do attack it, I should have pretty good odds. Yeah, there we go. Importantly, we killed the Wasp Hive now, so they no longer have the extra attack value against soft targets, so it'll be much easier to deal with them. And they fell back here. Over here... Not sure what to say, it's just a bit of a mess, really. This MG doesn't need to be in the capital, because it already has a barracks, I think. Yeah, it's a level 1 barracks, but it's fine enough. I'm just gonna make sure this doesn't get broken through. And I'm also gonna hold the scientific outpost at every cost, I'd say. Supply network upgrades. The supply network. It's not looking good. Run out of points this way. Why? Let's see. Bottlenecks, initial points. It's 1966 the whole way through. 1996, I mean. It does get bumped up here by the supply depot. I don't know why, honestly. It might just be the points coming through this road and coming into here. It's a small difference, so I'm not gonna think about it too much. It's not really relevant. Something else that was requested were individual bite-sized video about certain subsystems, and I think I will tackle that. Not tonight though, I don't have that much time and I'm not sure how I want to approach it. But I will just pull out one of my more advanced saves so I have something to actually work with and show you these things. I will pull one of the multiplayer saves I have, which are pretty cool, I'd say. 8 readiness, MG can't move. Okay. I'll move the MG here. Because I want this unit to move up here and attack that one if possible. Pretty low readiness, but these scavengers don't have a Wasp Hive either, so it should be fine. The game says I would win this, but I'd rather not take any losses I don't need to take. The enemy is scattered off of the border, probably feeling threatened by the forces here. I think the AI has taken the clue and will not attack us. They really like attacking you if you don't have troops on the border. Which honestly, it's very understandable if you just don't have them on the border because there's always so many things to keep track of and handle. But if you can most definitely have troops on the border, it is a necessity. That's an airfield? It's an airfield. Couldn't take it though. That's sorted. I'd like to continue upgrading the truck station, but it's not done yet. It's barely done. I'll just check. Oh, after machinery. I have to buy some Let's just buy the entire stock. We have the money anyways. Start some more metals and call it a day. So I'm gonna check recycling, 17. Model design. I don't remember what you were doing. This is fine. Celebrations. Ignore is probably the best one. I don't want mine. I certainly don't want mine. It's the last thing I want. Let's go first. Which country is this? Whiteshire. That's our neighbor, and we already have troops on the border. It should be fine. We would probably fail the difficulty roll anyways. I like scrapping these cards because they take a lot of political power and they're not easy to play. See? Like 1% chance to do it. But I'll keep it, it might prove funny eventually. I'm not sure why the terrain for the Null Line guys is red. Maybe it's because my save is outdated, I don't know. You can keep playing the same save through multiple versions, it doesn't seem to matter that much. One of my buddies, after coming back to the game, booted up a save that was so incredibly old, the ammo factory didn't even exist as a building or technology. Gave me absolute whiplash to see that. These assets will automatically disband themselves when the scavenge reaches 0, although this shouldn't be... This should be working. Why is it not working? 1 worker point. Ah, not enough workers. Yeah, not enough workers. I'll cancel that then, I think. If I cancel this... Oh, okay, no, it's just that the bureaucratic offices take a gargantuan amount of labor to actually go through. How much is it in the construction phase? Construction cost 6,500 workers, okay. This was standard to machinery last turn, whoops. Why is this not working? No logistical points, that's bad. Why? Ah, I didn't allow pull points in here. It's a mistake. It's important to always keep an eye on things so you can notice mistakes before they bite you. Because they can bite quite badly. I can't move ball any of this because it's a new zone. The new zone will be flipped to us next turn. Okay. Just more random troop movements. I wager the regime we're bordering here was also at war with the other guys. I just hope I can take all of the land before they do. Despite the imminent starvation due to the loss of the stockpile, the AI is still quite capable of putting up a fight. As you saw in that engagement, zone conquered. Okay. Right. I remember I was making an APC now. Combat armor 2. Relation filters are useless here. A different type of OOB. 3 fate points. As it was visible here, if the enemy pushes into you with sentinels, they're pretty liable to lose them because they have really bad recon, like genuinely horrible recon. They're basically blind. So if you do have sentinels you're using yourself, please make sure to actually support them. Given all the IP I have, it would be smart to start on a rail station. But I can't afford the machinery, so it'll have to wait. That's a hole in the pocket, but so I get the money back anyways. Get taxes. Missing items, logistics limit. Logistics limit. The troops just didn't get food, that's great. That's funny, that would be great. Okay. The logistical network is actually buckling straight up, which isn't great. The capital being so far away is most definitely playing a part in it. I mentioned the construction just now got finished. In these situations, I like to just give it a turn and see where it goes. I mean, nothing bad actually happened. It's only like 20, not even 25. And, well, I always have the autosave, right? Like the game does autosave every time you pass a turn. So I'm not gonna do any troop movements because, well, if your troops are hungry, moving them is the last thing you wanna do. Success. Worker strike. I just always pick the ideologically correct one. Success. And because I already know I have all of those troops and barracks, it's not really a concern. Nice, the leader is too good for governing. So I'm just gonna get another junior. This guy is horribly incompetent, but he's greatly loyal, so he's being put in charge. Political power, yeah. Just gonna trust my past self on this until something comes up. Research, what's my research like? There is only ghosts and gas power to discover, which is funny. I think the highest impact right now would be side skirts. I don't know what to type. Something interesting about assault guns is that if you make a model that is straight up equal to a light tank, what's the light tank engine again? Heavy diesel engine, no? Heavy diesel. It does actually come out cheaper. This is only 91 metal and 36 IP. Meanwhile, the light tank is like 78 metal. It's more metal. It's less. The light tank is less metal. The SPG is more metal, but the industrial point cost is much lower. Now, the assault gun does weigh a little more because of all that extra metal, supposedly. So it does, the case mate, I presume, it does have a pretty bad AP cost. If we check up at the engine on, it's an increase from 36 IP to 38 and like 2 metal. Now the oil cost does like jump quite a lot, but at that point, I mean, as well give it a shot. I've never really designed an assault gun that doubles in as a cheap tank, so I'm actually quite curious if it'll work well or not. Not gonna move anything, and the constructions are going normally. Something that's also straining the supply network most certainly is all that metal having to pass through for bureaucratic offices. So that's something to keep in mind too. Let's see. Where does this go? That's probably a rebellion or an unaligned unit in the enemy major. No movements from the other enemy major. Ah, I had the unit encircled by mistake because I forgot about it. I'm sure it'll be fine though. It's just infantry anyways. They're not really moving much because they don't have the action points to move much because, well, you need readiness to actually gain your action points, right? If your readiness is like really bad, you're not gonna get many action points. Heavy industry is a huge thing to discover. Let's see, did the supply situation fix itself? No. It didn't fix itself. Okay. Let's check. Search kit. I'm not entirely sure what's causing it. It might be... Oh, but that wouldn't make sense. End of last round, center zone. Might have run out of food actually. I wouldn't think so. There is spare logistical points. So it might just be a food issue. In this case, I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna load the last autosave. Round 37. I'm trying to remember if I have emergency food on, and I don't think I do. Let's see. 30. Let's try buying a whole lot of food. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. And see where this goes. I still forgot to move that unit. And he got encircled again. Ah well. Wouldn't want to cheat now, would we? If only the turn passage would be a little faster. It can be quite long sometimes, it's a bit of a pain. Heavy industry again. Automated factory is amazing. Yeah, it was a food issue. We ran out of food. You can see now it's minus 1,000 because it not only sent the troop maintenance, but it also, what's the word? It also replenished the stocks of food of the units in the field. So that's something important to keep in mind. Maybe don't be as casual as me about it. Or maybe do. I mean, you have the autosave, so you can always just go back. It's a single player game, so it's pretty casual. If you have points left over in the logistics network, but your troops are not getting food, and if you hover over and you see all of the food, like last time we had 544, I think, food in stock, and 544 was also sent to the zones. And as you remember, resources are used before they are added to the stockpile. So first it uses, it's like the using stage where, oh, you send out the food and things and then you get it. So you can't receive food in the same turn from a farm and send it to troops at the same time. There's like a 1 turn delay between these things. So yeah, just hover over and see what's actually happening with it, right? Because I'm not sure why it's sending 600 to zones. I don't remember if I added actual emergency food. I don't remember where to find that either. Zones, I think. Let's see. The news section doesn't really help me with anything here. The help section has nothing on this, I think. That's just regimes, that's HQs. letterbox. I don't even really read this. I just pass through them and I keep my eyes over here to see what's going on. Choice. You know, I genuinely don't know why. But, you know, it's fine to not know, I suppose. I mean, I'm not doing a very good job when that's to the tutorial thing, but, you know.
Aye, aye, sir.
Keeping myself blissfully ignorant about the niche functions of the game keeps the veneer of immersion over my eyes. So, you know, I don't like to. I used to really want to know every single detail about how a game works. And I still do, I'll be honest, but I try to
Aye, aye.
keep my mittens off that for now. Because realistically speaking, well, if I
Yes, sir.
go ahead and I learn this game like the back of my palm,
Yes, sir.
it's just not great because I don't really. I'm gonna put the zip localizer tower in the newly conquered zone so you can immediately start getting loyalty.
Roger that.
Because loyalty normally only increases when you have over 50 happiness. This will get going on it immediately. And I'll crack down in on the rest too.
Roger that.
Yeah, realistically speaking, if I learn this game like the back of my hand, well, I'm gonna crave something more complex. And there's gonna have to be something like Aurora 4X or something, and I don't wanna play that. It's too much, man. I have a job already.
Roger that.
I like to just go through occasionally, especially when there's like an event that nukes opinion, and just throw some bonuses and gifts at the leaders. Because remember, if you check this out, there is a natural relation point that will dictate in which direction the relationship meter goes. That's not overcomplicated. Basically, you want your leaders to be happy because it passively makes loyalty go up, and loyalty affects the natural relation point. So if you throw gifts at someone like 5 turns consecutively, and you keep them at maximum opinion, that's gonna have the loyalty going up steadily, and you can just kind of forget about them because they're loyal and the loyalty makes them happy, and because they're happy the loyalty doesn't go down. It's a bit of a feedback loop, right? I don't really care about this right now. I'll get housing for the worker happiness, why not? What is the city? Zincor? Where even is this? And I don't really see a reason to do this, so just ask me later. Generally I like to leave that decision unanswered because you can actually save the one political power. But public budget for some happiness, a measly worker wage to keep it cheap. Some recruits if they feel like it. Never fire workers. I will allow emergency food here. And I'll just confirm it and I'll just live with it that way. Let's see, the enemy is going hungry. Yeah. As is this unit. Let's break out a unit here. Just with the tanks are gonna be enough.
Mission accomplished.
And the enemy does get debuffed based on their inability to penetrate enemy armor, and if we add infantry units, that kind of goes away. I think. Well, in this case, it actually makes it. In this case, the more important aspect is the river, but generally speaking, if you have an enemy that can't really do anything against your armor, then basically, you should use only the armor against them, not the infantry too, right? I use the infantry in the second round of combat. Like, you attack them with the tanks, you weaken them, push them back a little. tank their readiness, and then maybe you attack them with the infantry. I just roll over this one. Yeah. Just move this up for recon. Take this airfield, please. They're just completely surrendering because they don't have the morale. Look, it's 24 down here. Move the infantry on. And mothball this. And I want to do my zone borders before this gets out of hand. I also got a new mouse. And honestly, I haven't really looked at the settings for OBS since last time. So I'm just gonna hope and pray that the mic doesn't pick it up when I spam click. Why is this not none? What do you mean none? Okay. Sure. Storm of Mount. Yeah. I don't need the industry. I don't need the scavenging. I don't need the office. I don't need the airbase. Hell, if I need anything, I need a barracks. But there's not enough workers to staff even the existing public jobs. I'll give it a shot anyways, why not? The sublocator tower only takes like what? Fucking 200 pops. Is there any unrest left? Yes. Do I have any unrest cards? No. The political power ones are the best. This one with like 8 points is not really worth it. More of like a roleplay thing, I guess. Yeah, I don't even want to see that card. Because it gives me mind and I don't like mind. I could draft workers, but that's not gonna be good because it'll lower the loyalty. The draft workers card is actually quite useful. It can help you like quickly build a lot. The machinery was stagnant for some reason. Did like an update change my road signs? No, I just forgot. Okay, that's. I mean, I am recording this video as always at like 3, 4, 5 a.m. So, yeah, that's probably why. I'm not a fan of AM PM, but yeah, 5 in the night, if you will. How do I best collapse the enemy? These guys are definitely at war. How do I best get that city immediately? So down the road, I guess. The artillery can stay there, I don't care much. There's the AT guns. There's the AT guns. That's not happening. The buggies are fast. I want the buggies to go down. Take the city. Units, when they die, they have a chance to take armor with them in the last ditch effort, but this isn't even like a last ditch effort. They just lost it in a ditch or something because it was rough terrain. At least it's funny, I suppose. This is not gonna put up any resistance. The flak guns are actually quite dangerous because if I recall, they are backline units, so they kind of just shoot at you without getting shot. And they can have quite mean damage on them. For example, I mean, it is a 50mm gun, so it's got like pretty decent soft and hard attack and defense. So what you can do, and what I've done with some success, the current rather multiplayer game I'm playing, I just motorized my starting AA and I'm just using it attacking, right? Pretty neat. Although yeah, there's not really much of a front line to speak of, so yeah. Of course it's gonna go pretty poorly. I'll just attack this with all my better units. I really want the artillery gone. These pretty big guns, so yeah. I'm not still hacking into that. I don't need this tile. I'd rather hold the city at all costs. There's no rush because they're starving over here. I'm just rushing this for now. I don't have the logistics to raise any units. No. I'll just get one more recon to supplement later down the line. Model will be done with the assault gun next turn. Might be able to deploy a few independents for this area to test them out. It is like savannah. And some plains. So, well, the plains behind the mountains, but, you know, can just go around. Across the river. Okay, let's see now. I want to do something about you. Now, I'm happy as long as the lance isn't hitting any buggies. Okay, that's a good combat right there. Tanking into that. This can stay like this. But yeah, if there's anything to learn about this like episode specifically, if you have a logistical problem, don't panic, right? It's probably pretty easily fixed. There is another buggy here extra. I could try this. They have like no readiness. If I chuck these guys in, makes it even better. Now, some of them might die because they have like no hit points, but it does get them out of the way, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Just to reinforce it in. What units do I still have around to play with? It'll be hard, because I don't even remember what I have. There is this nifty little thing here, where you can see your independent units. It seems all my buggies are... Well, that's a tank, that's not a buggy. Yeah, I ain't really raised that many buggies, I would say. Gonna keep playing the Intel game because that's really important. There's a major over there. Major there. This is gonna be a lot of war going forward. I can feel it. Other major. These guys are definitely fighting. There's a miner in between them. Major non-aligned. Just want to weasel my spies into all the non-aligned zones so I can get a full picture of the map. Having a really good guy in charge of cover tops is critical. And this guy isn't like the best. He's not like particularly smart or good at war or even that fast of a learner, but he's got good cover top stats and that's what matters. The cover top guys learn really quickly because you just keep playing spy cards non-stop. Spiring can go here maybe? Yes. And here again? No. Shame. This has outrun the command chain. Let's run back with it. As this has this, but I value this more, so I'll have to be that way. What are the last few units of this? I have some attached units that are just completely lost from the HQ. And I have to reorganize them eventually, I imagine. That's a problem for the future, right? Much like picking up this game back up was, I guess. I am tempted to start doing the turns a little faster. It's a bit hard to keep commenting at a reasonable pace and not just have bouts of silence. I usually just play in silence, so yeah. Not to mention, I'm not even used to speaking this much. My throat is killing me. It's not that bad, really, but still. I don't even know what thumbnail I use. Our fuel deposit. Our little tank is ready. Light armor core. Well, that's useful, but I don't really want to use the light tanks. I want to go with the budget tanks. There's so much fuel around too. It'd be great if it works. Maybe it won't work. Oh boy, that's a great choke point. This is beautiful. But I don't want to just sit on the choke point. I want to take their capital. Oh. Maybe I can just bomb them, I guess. That is how many hexes? 1, 2, 6. 11? That's nothing. I can definitely bomb that, I think. There's a major here too. I'm always most intrigued by the intel of the zones, honestly. Failure. Well, let's try again. That's why that's why political power is really important. Abbreviated PP, yeah. Spy is working here. Sure. When I hate to have drills at an office job. I'd hate an office job itself, but now the armor army is actually what will allow us to make OHQs of SPGs. I keep calling them SPGs. I'm not sure they're called SPGs. They're called assault guns, right? Yeah, the nomenclature the dev uses is all over the place anyways, who cares? Release of spy. I wanted a heart. Meritocracy doesn't matter. Who are you again? Whiteshire. Right. Yeah, sure. Whatever. As long as democracy doesn't go up. Is that SPG any good? It's actually decent. I'll be damned. I mean, the armor design is inexistent and this thing needs side skirts. But I think I can deploy a test unit of it. Get this buggy moving. Raise independent armor. I would like to render this obsolete for now because I'm not gonna be using it. That way, without confusion, when I go and I raise armor, it's just the SPG. You can see that it's only 190, whereas the what is it? What's the light tank? What? Oh, in the first page. The light tanks are whopping 315. So we've chopped a third of the cost by just taking the turret off. Truly just simulating real life at this point. Keep the buggies going. What's this? These are starting to be just straight up worse reserve units. And they have supply from the city. Not there's much going on. Let's see if we can just cut through. We have places to be. And yeah, just the basic infantry can't really do much against the up-armored buggies. Now, on a higher difficulty, please keep in mind, this is just not gonna work. You're gonna need tanks. But here, most things go. That's just militia, that's incredibly weak of a cordon. And if I can get tanks down there, that'll be great too. You're under... there is a little outline that appears over the unit cards when you have the HQ selected. And that's how I keep being able to distinguish them that way. They gave us the river crossing for free. That's a starving unit, there's no way he can fight back. Even though the odds were pretty bad, yeah, look at that go. This is well fed for now, sure. Let's keep betting them back. It's militia anyway, so it's even worse. Just focusing on maximizing damage while minimizing losses. Sounds smart. Maybe a cheeky encirclement here too. Oh well, just some MG is lost. And a tank. I think the tank, again, just fell in a ditch due to the bad terrain. It keeps happening. And do I just check more things are the problem? I mean, this does up the numbers, so I'll just listen to the numbers, I guess. Infantry, frankly, did nothing there, but they did absorb some hits, so good enough. I have too much manpower anyways, I need to bleed it somehow. And they died. Do keep in mind that if you do encircle units, they are gonna fight harder. But in this case, we wanted them encircled so they can just go away, basically. I'm gonna put these HQs in the city itself. Also, this road network is giving me a headache. Just block everything going that way. Block everything that way. Only pull points this way. You don't really want your road network to be circular, so, you know, I'll just block everything going this way, so this road always goes that way. That should help some in that regard. The IP has stockpiled quite a lot in the background. We don't have much metal to work with, concerningly enough. I mean, we've taken the mine off of the major's hands, which is great in of itself. So, yeah. I don't want a higher level metal mine immediately. Although I think I forgot to upgrade it for like a turn or two. I wasn't keeping track of it, to be honest. And the energy situation is looking actually quite great, so I can downsize the power plant again. This is helping quite a bit too. This is the automated factory I mentioned. A lot of GR tech stuff is quite good. There are spare workers, so I may as well... I have researched heavy industry. I could build it. A lot of machines, but it'll pay off in the end. I will be getting this. And I'll actually make the machines because I have the industrial points in excess as I do the rare metals and normal metals, and there we go. We saved a lot of cash that way. Just keep the Ouroboros style economy going. Whereas we're basically buying things with the money we gave them. It's not a very good economic model, but you know, the economy is fake anyway, so who cares? Can I attack this and win? I think so. It's a lot of units, and I don't think it's entrenched, yeah. Just pushing them back steadily and without losses, that's very good. It is a sentinel, a singular sentinel, mind you, but it is a sentinel. These are quite mean hit points. The defense is lower than the attack, though. I like getting a motorbike model always, because they're just cheap recon. I ignore this. Cheap recon is so nice to have, and they're also just really good at keeping track of your borders. This is... yeah, these guys were definitely at war. And we just beat the winning party. I could. I think. I'm thinking. I'm thinking and it's going well. I think I should raise a bunch of troops here so I can take this mountain pass quickly. Now, I can't afford much, but we do have those really cheap assault guns, right? So we can raise a few units of those. Okay, we're out of logistic points, never mind. Can't even raise infantry? No. Okay, next turn then. We'll just attach these two to a unit of infantry and we'll just kind of call it a day. I don't even want to stay this unit anymore, so I'll just scrap it. And it'll like, the 400 guys will just go to this like zone. It's fine, it's whatever. I don't want that university going everywhere though. I've been sleeping on it for too long. The game will raise like new militia units. I like to just either strat redeploy them to the front, or I like to move them, still strat redeploying them to a city where I don't have enough people and I scrap them there and the population joins the zone, so it's basically free colonists. Construct. Yeah, university. How's this place going? It's not going. It's not going well. Yeah. Just gonna ignore it, I guess. I may as well use my infinite resources at this point to get the rare metal mine.
Yes, sir.
It's a nice to have because it helps you stockpile more rare metals. You will need rare metals in excess once you actually get polymer armor, so that's something to keep in mind. Which metal mine do I upgrade? This one's basically... It's kind of slow, so I might as well upgrade it first. This one's... can hold on for a second. I don't want to start too many upgrades at once, because I might not be able to raise the workers necessary. Now we're getting more food, and I don't actually know... Like, we were running out of food, and now it's in the positive. It might be because of the private sector, maybe? I'm not gonna... Maybe this thing was upgrading and I just didn't notice when I was... Yeah, I don't know. Much easier to just not worry about it. Let's see... I hope I can take that city. They are being pincered by the other major anyways, so... I do have that light tank on the border ready to go. I don't really need to wait for the SPGs in regards to the major to the east, so yeah. I have the bad habit of just looking at my phone when the turn passes, so I don't really see most of the action. But there's not really much that can surprise me. And the rockets, I've talked about them, they're really nice as a like deep strike weapon, kinda. You can damage infrastructure behind units. The vortex is a nice to have. And another double shift card. We love those. Let's tank some of our morale. This is a easy card to play. You just get some unrest. Grimzel. Where's Grimzel? Grimzel's here. 32 unrest. It'll go down pretty easily anyways. Especially given we're raising a bunch of troops in here. There's me a whole infantry formation with the IP that's left. And attach me these units to the 6th. Move them up. And I'll also give the HQ a training card. so we can have a bit more experience before it goes into the fray. I have upgraded the bureaucratic officers, so it might be worthwhile to consider the air research. The Economic Council doesn't really have a reason to be discovering anymore, does it? No. It's discovered everything, so I'm just gonna make sure, before I forget, to up the research.
Understood.
Models done with the bike. Is the bike good? It's fine. Is the... No, this is not good. Make me another then. Brand new. What was he making here again? 50 steel plating. What's the blueprint say about this? I can't say it, I'm actually blind. EPC. New design, 50, advanced, heavy. I mean, I just rolled really badly on the engine, I suppose, because this should be fine. Brand new. Oh, right. Yes, a heavy. I want it to be fast, I think. I've always just had really slow, bulky APCs. I'm curious what fast ones are like. Make a brand new design like that. Yes, sure, get me an Air Force. Oh no, a worker strike. Do our trades.
Roger that. Roger that.
Always. 9 machinery. That's a lot to be spending in one term, but price of a growing economy. What's the industrial situation in other majors like? Bureaucratic Office 1, Industry 2. And we've got Industry 2 with the Bureaucratic Office 3. We've absolutely blown through all of our metal. Oh god, I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to... Can I actually do anything about it? I mean, I guess I'll just live with it. Not much I can do. Ah, this is a problem. They have actually shown up with the light tanks. I'm not sure where they pulled those out of. Because there's like nothing left of this country, basically. Bit awkward. It's really quite a bit awkward. Oh well. Let's see if I can just use my own tanks to deal with this. Is that the city tire? Yes. Can I pull any other troops in? It's for a last ditch offense. You'll give me recon here. You start making your way down. I need you here. Start moving too. This tank can just take forward position, I don't care. This got cut off, apparently. It's a bit awkward, but... I didn't even notice, to be honest. I can't attack this guy because it's across a river, so I'll just wait and circle it around. It's like 2 cards of infantry. Yeah, okay. Let's see how badly this can go. They have pretty low readiness, so I don't think they'll live. Yeah, they just immediately retreated. Okay.
Mission accomplished.
They didn't even afford a full independent unit. This might end badly if I flood with too many units. But it's not like I can't break myself out or anything. So I guess I'll just check. Buggies have better defense. soft-wise, because it's basically a machine gun, so I'll just chuck it in, why not? And that should be okay. To do some replenishments. Not gonna bother doing them in the field because I think it's fine. Don't have the metal, right? Don't have the AP. I'd rather not tank my AP. Now that I think about it, I think a lot of the metal was used in raising those. Yeah, I used all of the metal to raise the assault guns. That was nearly 1,500 metal. Well, metal is cheap. It's fine. And even if our buildings stall, which isn't ideal, I mean, we'll stockpile industrial points for the rainy day, right? I guess you should be going here now. I don't really see a reason why I shouldn't just kick down the door. Well, that'll have to wait until next time because I have completely overshot the length I was going for. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, and next time we'll be starting another war, as it should be.